Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? It's been a while since I've done a stream. It's been a while since I've done a stream, bro. How are you doing, Lilo? I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Feels like an eternity. It has been a long time, man. It has been a long time. I've been more focused on just trying to make like actual videos. I started posting shorts again. I took like almost 3 months off of posting shorts, but started posting those again. But yeah, I thought, you know what? I thought it'd be fun to do a stream real quick, because there's been this concept. I've spoken about this specific concept before. I don't know if I've done a full-fledged stream on it though. So I wanted to focus on it today. Lilo voice back at it. Lilo's adventure versus YouTube is genius. I should sub to see more content. That would be cool. Yeah, it's been a bit. It has been a minute. But yeah, guys, today the specific concept that I wanted to speak about is this one that we have on the screen right now. The concept of, did Sukuna's fingers actually get stronger over the 1,000 years? I've never done a full-fledged debate on this before, and I think it's an interesting concept to just at least talk about, right? You said your video's been great. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Missed the every summer night stream. Yeah, there was a time in summer where I was streaming like every night, but yeah, maybe I'll do that again at some point in the future. But okay, so here's the thing I wanted to talk about, right? Did Sukuna's fingers get stronger over the 1,000 years? And there's a few things I just want to mention before I open this up to like an actual open debate, right? For one, like whenever we do these debates, you have to be respectful, you have to be kind, no crash outs. Like if you look at my channel, bro, I've done like well over 100 debates on this channel, and all of them people are being respectful. If you're the one person now who just decides to be like mean or strange, it's gonna be weird. Like, don't do that, bro. It's not meant to. We're just chilling over here, all right? Like we just don't do that here. I'm sorry, we don't. So yeah, just be chill and we can actually talk about this stuff. That's one thing. The other thing is this, like the simple concept here, right? Gojo, he's pretty much straight up saying, like, you can just read the text word for word. He says, okay, you can't destroy them. It's that powerful of a curse. He's talking about the cursed finger right here. You can see it in his hand. And then he says, with each passing day, they get even stronger. All right? Now, here's the thing. I've brought this up to other people. Here are some of the counter arguments people give. They say, oh, well, he's referring to the seal on the fingers are getting weaker. That's why he's saying they're getting stronger. He actually is just meaning the seal on the finger is getting weaker. Well, a counter argument to that, like you can literally see the finger he's talking about doesn't even have a seal on it. This one does not have a seal on it, bro. Okay? So you have to have some kind of answer to that. He's just straight up saying with each passing day they get even stronger, and the finger he has that he's talking about doesn't have any seal on it of any kind. Gojo also has the 6 eyes so he can see cursed energy. There's more arguments you can make about that too, but I'll save those for the debate, I guess. I've also seen another side of the argument that they're just saying, oh, the curse that makes the fingers indestructible is getting stronger. And it's like, well, why would Gojo even mention that? Like, if it's already indestructible, why would he say, oh, it's getting more indestructible? What's the point in saying that? That's another thing. And then the third thing to think about is like, even if that was the case, even if the curse that's making the fingers indestructible is becoming stronger, how is that possible without the fingers growing in cursed energy? Without the curse growing in cursed energy, right? So I've never had an actual like in-depth debate on this in a live stream, so I want to talk to people about it. Let me think here. And I'm also trying to be like as nice as possible, because there's a lot of things I could say about this, because I've heard people say some really what should I say? How do I word it? I've heard some contradictory takes. How about that? Okay? Because here's the thing, guys. Like, when I do these debates, I really try my best to never say like, "Oh, you're coping." I don't think I've ever said that in any of my debate streams here. But like that is something that's commonly said in the Gojo versus Sukuna debate on the Sukuna side of things, where if you even like, it's gotten to the point, right, where I could literally read pages in the manga and people will say, "Sorry, that sounds like cope, no offense." People will, like, I can read this page and I'll say, "Hey, this page is word for word saying this." And people will be like, "Ah, nah, bro, that sounds like cope, no offense." I'm like, "Bro, I'm literally reading the text." So like these are kind of, it's interesting, right? Because people will say like, me reading this and just believing what it literally says is its literal meaning is cope, right? And I'm not really sure how that's possible. Like, I think my honest stance on it, I think the fair interpretation of this is there's at least a chance that the fingers are getting stronger. It's at least a possibility. Okay, like if I'm just being honest, I think it's either he's talking, maybe it's the seals, or maybe it's just literally what he says. Maybe they literally are getting stronger. Okay, I think if you're being fair in a debate context, you have to just admit there's at least a chance, right? Saying that you're coping when you're word for word reading the text directly, I don't understand that. There's a lot more I could say about that, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. You said Gojo also said they have no one capable of sealing them properly now, so the statement clearly isn't contradicted. Okay, so here's another thing. Let me just give a quick counter argument to that. Like, even if we say that they don't have anyone who can seal them properly now, that doesn't just delete the statement that was right before it. Read these words. He says, with each passing day, they get even stronger. The anime translation, I have the anime translation up right here too. Hold up. Hopefully it goes right to this. All right. Can you see this? You see what this says on the stream? It says the curse grows stronger by the day. This is what the Crunchyroll subs say, that the curse grows stronger by the day. The manga says with each passing day, they get even stronger. Okay? So, I mean, like, to just say, like, bro, I've had debates with so many people over this, and, like, the things I've heard people say, it's hard for me to even comment on it without being, like, a bit offensive or rude. Like, I'm just not going to comment on it, because I've heard people say some really interesting things. I'll just say that. But yeah, I don't understand how you can quote the manga and then someone says, "Sorry, you quoting that and believing the literal translation of the word you just said is cope." I can't wrap my head around that. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay. But yeah, so I want to hear people's arguments, because for the most part, a lot of people just think, no, this is just only referring to the seals getting weaker. Okay, and one more counter argument I'll say. Ask yourself this: who sealed them in the first place? Who sealed the fingers in the first place, right? Because a lot of people don't know that, like, the talismans that people use all throughout JJK, a lot of them are used for, like, curtains or creating barriers. Let me simplify it. Tengen might have sealed these, bro. There's a chance Tengen might have sealed these, and now the fingers are just too strong for Tengen to seal anymore. There's a possibility of that, because you can make an argument that sealing techniques and barrier techniques are correlating, like have a correlation between the two. Tengen is the one who's responsible for storing all of their other cursed objects, and I think Tengen was storing the other cursed fingers anyway. So you could make an argument that Tengen was the one who made the seals in the first place, and now the fingers are too powerful for Tengen to seal, so obviously that means they got stronger. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm interested to have this debate and see what people actually think. And if you can give me some counter arguments to this, I'd like to hear them, all right? So, hold on, let me see. Bobe. Well, yeah, like that's kind of the thing about it. If the fingers did get stronger over this time, then yeah, Sukuna in the OG hand era would be weaker. And there's other things that back that up too. But we'll see if I even like need to mention any of those things today. We'll see. But yeah, let's open this up to debate. So the link, if you want to join the debate, it's right here. You go to my post. I just left this post a few minutes ago. It just says, did Sukuna's fingers get stronger? In the pinned comment is a link to the debate chat. You can hop in and join it there. But yeah, let's start talking about this, all right? Dark World, what's up, bro? Yo, chat, everybody, go check out Dark World's newest video he just posted. He made a video with Professor Fiction. What was it? It's titled Killua versus Hisoka. He just made a video on that, I think, yesterday. And it's a really good video. I watched it. I liked it a lot. You guys should go check that out. You guys will really like it. I'll probably make a post on it, too. But yeah, you guys should go check that out. But let's start this debate, okay? I'm about to hop into the debate chat. And anybody who wants to join in and debate and join in this debate, like, go ahead and hop in there, all right? I'm gonna hop over there right now. All right, let's see. Do we have anyone here today? Oh, we got no one here. All right, chat. I'm sitting in debate voice chat 1. So if anyone wants to join in the debate. Oh, yo, Snillium, bro, thank you for the 8 months. You said don't have dono money right now, but I'm good to have you back. Bro, thank you for the 8 months, bro. I appreciate that a lot. I think Snillium might be the longest running member. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. But yeah, chat, anyone who wants to join in the debate, feel free. Oh, okay, yeah, we got Anna Ashura. What's up, you guys? How are you guys doing?
I'm good. I feel like complete garbage.
You feel like garbage? No. Are you sick?
Bro, it's 3:30 in the morning, bro.
Oh, yeah. Time zones are crazy.
Don't care about them.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
I think you're doing it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose, man.
No. Time zones are just crazy, man. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Like, Ashura, since it's like so late for you, you could go first. What do you think about this statement?
I don't think he got stronger over the 1,000 years, bro. I just think the seal just got weaker because Tengen was slowly losing her mind. He got stronger recently because Tengen didn't get her new vessel, so the seal just got weaker. And then since he couldn't keep the seal up anymore, the power eventually rose back to what it should have been at the beginning. That's what I think.
Well, like, okay, so let me just ask you this. Why doesn't it just say that then?
It's just wording, bro.
Well, okay.
I think it's just
like let me word it this way. Like, so if your argument is the seal is just getting weaker, why is he saying that the curse is getting stronger? What's the point in saying the curse is getting stronger? Why not just say the seals are getting weaker?
It also could be the fact that Sukuna awakened in Yuji's body. Now the curse is getting more active. It doesn't necessarily have to mean Sukuna is getting stronger over time, because that wouldn't really make sense. No one really cares about Sukuna in the modern day. Like, there's no logical reason for him to get stronger, and there's other explanations and wordings to where it would make sense. Like, Sukuna's soul just woke up, so like the rest of the fingers might be up and active as well. There's other ways to explain it, you know?
I see. But why not just take the literal translation? Why is it that we have to jump through all these hoops and make all these assumptions to just say, like, the literal translation is wrong, when in so many other cases you don't do that? Like, actually 99% of the story, the literal translation is fine. But in this one case where it, conveniently might make the original Heian era Sukuna a little bit weaker, now we all of a sudden we have to think about 15 different possibilities for how, oh no, this doesn't affect Sukuna in any way. Well, why can't we just treat it the same way we treat the rest of the series?
My guy, you're talking to the biggest Gojo glazer of this century, my guy. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. I'm Team Gojo all the way. Gojo's one in the verse. But peep game. It is the literal translation. Just because I'm saying the curse got stronger, it could mean a bunch of different things. It could. How comes razor, the most simplest thing, must be the correct thing, right? In my head. And
Yep.
there's no reason why he would get stronger. There's more reason to say he got more active. Like.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of reason because Gojo has the 6 eyes. He's looking at them and he's giving us this word for word statement. They're getting stronger. That alone is pretty solid. He's looking at it. So here's something, right? He's looking at it right now, and the finger that he's holding up does not have a seal on it. So why would he be? Yeah. Why is your statement? Why do we just magically start talking about the seals when the finger he's holding up in this example doesn't even have a seal on it?
The reason why I'm like, that doesn't really matter that much is because, like, Sukuna didn't mention getting any stronger. Like, it's more about, it doesn't make a narrative sense.
Well, no, I mean...
It doesn't make narrative sense, it doesn't have any benefit to the narrative, and it doesn't make sense power scaling-wise.
Well, the thing is, Sukuna doesn't care. Like, Sukuna didn't mention being any stronger with the 10 shadows either. Like, Sukuna having more power, he's not someone to just be like, wow, I'm stronger than ever, I'm better than... Like, he doesn't really care, right? He already thinks he's number one no matter what. So he's not gonna, like, go out of his way to say stuff like that. It doesn't mean anything to him. But there are other things that back up the theory of this actually being true, that the fingers actually did get stronger. One of the biggest ones is his interactions with Yorozu. Yorozu's entire character arc is like, she loves his strength. Like, his strength and the solitude it brought him is like something fascinating to her. And when she sees Sukuna again, she sees him in 15 finger form and doesn't say anything about him being weaker at all.
How would she even know? It's like, would she even notice?
Well, yeah, she totally would, because in what we see in the Yuta versus Ryu fight is you can tell how much total cursed energy someone has before you even fight them. They just look at Yuta and they're like, yo, his cursed energy capacity is insane. It's like they're able to tell, like, how much capacity he has. So Yorozu should know too.
How much he had? Yeah, true. They didn't tell how much he had. They just said it seemed endless. They couldn't see the bottom of it.
Okay, well, using the same argument,
is over 2 times that. So I'm like, 15 fingers might not look different from 20 to her. She probably couldn't tell.
Well, didn't you earlier just say that's just wording, right? Like, that's just an adjective to explain, like, oh, that's a lot of cursed energy.
And what? Okay, if we took the statement literally, if every statement was taken literally, Yuta would have infinite cursed energy. And he clearly does it.
Right.
He runs out on screen. So I can't take things exactly literally because there's other times when it's clearly like other meanings attached to it.
Well, I agree with you.
The Yuta scene.
Then yeah, I agree with you. Don't take the Yuta scene exactly literally then. Like, they could see the limit to it. They were just saying, oh, he has a lot. And as a matter of fact, like, he actually runs out while they're fighting him, like the next page. Like the next chapter, actually.
Honestly, Yuta might be trash when it comes to the RCT thing, but back on topic.
He is, yeah, he is, kind of.
I just can't see him getting stronger in a literal sense over thousands of years, because there's no mechanic in JJK that would let his curse get stronger.
Well, hold on, I have the data book here. I bought the data book, and there is, like, mechanics for it. Like, if you just look at how curses are formed, it implies that, like, yeah, it's, like, extremely likely that the fingers got stronger. Hold on, let me, because I just have the data book, like,
damn, bro,
in front of me.
Bro, you're committed.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you, but man, you committed.
Yeah, I copped the data book. There's a like the data book itself has like a ton of content in it, but I'm trying to find it. Like basically like the hold on, is this it here? The data book talks about like curses, they accumulate energy from the negative emotions around them. That's like how they're formed in the first place. Megami also says the same thing like at the very start of the series, but like the fact that Gojo says the curse is getting stronger just makes sense because negative emotions are just part of humanity. They don't go away. So, but yeah, I'm trying to find it. It'll probably take me a second, but you can keep going. Any thoughts you have?
I agree with that. Curses get stronger over time, but Sukuna isn't a curse though. He's a human being who cut up his soul into objects. So he's not a curse.
I have the anime translation on the screen. He word for word says the curse grows stronger by the day when he's referring to the fingers.
He says you can't destroy them, and that is a power. It is that powerful of a curse, which each person they get stronger. You don't have anyone that says them properly. It could have been talking about something. It just doesn't sound right because there's nothing really making it stronger. Just because
it could just be getting stronger the same way like all other curses are formed. It could just be getting stronger like by absorbing the negative emotions around it. That's completely fine.
Curses, okay, there's specific curses to each specific negative emotion. There's a specific negative emotion about wood, about plants. What negative emotions about Sukuna is Sukuna absorbing? The Sukuna curse?
They just fear him. They just fear him.
Nobody knows this man's name.
No, all the sorcerers do.
No, deadass.
But like, no. Like, I think.
Book, right?
Well, hold on. The other thing is, it doesn't have to be negative emotions about Sukuna. It's not like Chainsaw Man where it has to be specifically about Sukuna for it to like amp Sukuna. It can just be negative emotions in general around him. Like, could be adding to it.
Okay, deadass. I just remembered that Halloween makes all curses stronger, so you might have a point. I just remember that, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the page about curses, but it might take me a second. I'm like scrolling through this whole book trying to find it because I remember reading it the other day. But yeah, you got.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It makes sense. I'm not saying you're completely wrong. I just don't see the vision.
Well, like why does it not make sense for the literal translation to just be what it says?
Because narrative-wise, both Gojo, Sukuna, Yuji, Deborah, all of these four occupy the title of the strongest at the peak of Jujutsu. Kenjaku says it, everybody says it. They're the peak. There is no point to buff Sukuna. And this is at the start of the series. Gege barely knew what he was even doing with Sukuna. There's no point to buff him so that he can get stronger. No one's gonna compete with him anyway. There's no reason to buff him. And two, it just doesn't feel like I see the buff in any reasonable way. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, a lot of things in JJK are like that, but they still happen anyway. Like for example, it made no logical sense for Gojo to go and fight Sukuna and not know like what an open barrier domain did and have no like plan for it at all. He just figured it out on the spot. That doesn't make sense either, but he just did it anyway.
He might have known, but he just didn't know what would have happened. Gojo didn't know what would have happened. Sukuna definitely did know, but maybe Gojo was like, "Nigga, I can't plan for that. I've never seen it before, so I can't plan for it. So I'm gonna just say, fuck you, we ball and just ball out."
No, he could plan for it because like legitimately, how long did he fight him? He fought him like by the third domain clash. He thought of the basketball domain. Just how much thinking was that? Was that like 5 minutes? It took him 5 minutes of thinking. That means he didn't think about it for even 5 minutes before the fight. That makes no sense, but that's canonical to the story. Like that actually happened. So a lot of things that in JJK don't really make a lot of sense if you just think about it deeply, but they still are there. But yeah, I found the data book thing I was looking for. It's like the information about curses, and it says pain, regret to those feelings, and then it shows like curses being formed. So like you could just make an argument that just negative emotions in general lead to curses becoming stronger.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I want to kind of focus on the Gojo point for real quick. You can just figure out something faster in fight. We are both fighters, right? We both like go to gym, box, and do stuff like that. You do BJJ, right? You did BJJ at one point.
Yeah.
You've never had these moments where you came up with like eureka moments, like on the fly, where you pulled some shit out your ass that you never thought you could do.
No, yeah, that's possible. But the point I'm making is it's pretty clear he didn't really think at all about what he was. Like, for example, he just didn't think of it. Like, not much planning went into that fight. There's really no reason he didn't start the fight with a basketball domain. There, other than lack of planning. He had a month, and he just spent it like helping out Yuta and all those other frauds. But yeah, I mean that
They're not frauds, bro. They're just
that is
not Gojo level.
But yeah, that's like the main argument I have. It's like maybe we should just because my honest stance on it, right? I think that it's just a possibility. I'm not saying it's 100% for fact, but I'm saying there is a possibility the fingers got stronger because like the text literally says they did. So I think it's fine to just, you know, interpret it literally because people do that. That's the whole argument for Sukuna being stronger is people will just say, oh, well, read the text where Gojo said he's stronger. Even though Gojo doesn't even know what killed him.
Wait. Did Gojo actually say he was stronger though?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think he just said strong opponent.
No, he does. He says Sukuna was stronger.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like people are okay with just using the literal translations if it like helps their argument, but they will ignore it if it doesn't help their argument. So that's the thing I've noticed with JJK power scaling in general. It's just like a lot of its agenda, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, hey, if we're gonna use the literal translations for Gojo losing to Sukuna and just say, all right, well, when Gojo said Sukuna's stronger, Gojo's just right. Even though Gojo died to a move slower than himself, he might not even know what killed him, and he didn't really factor in that, oh, if he just dodged the move slower than himself, he was about guaranteed to win. You ignore all of that and just say, oh, well, Gojo said that Sukuna's stronger, so Sukuna's stronger. It's like, all right, well, what about the thing in chapter 3 where he says, oh, the fingers get stronger, and they've been getting stronger every day. Oh, no, we can't take that one literally. So there's inconsistency there that's pretty blatantly obvious if you've like debated this series at all. But yeah, but
I know, bro.
I don't know. That's just something I've noticed.
Sorry, I agree with you. Sometimes it feels like people are gaslighting me. Like, are you treating me like I'm dumb? Like I didn't read the manga? I get what you mean, bro. Well, I get what you mean. And I reread that fight, that moment when like Gojo died. I swear he didn't say like it was 127. It was 237, right?
236.
236, okay. Cause I swear he just said I died to a strong opponent. And the only literal thing they could say that he held was that he said he held back or didn't give it his all. And that could mean a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, no, Gojo said that he lost to a stronger opponent. But that's like a separate side of the debate. The main thing I wanted to talk about today is just like the argument on the cursed fingers getting stronger and if people think they did or didn't. But here, let's let some other people go, and you can share a bit more in a bit, Ashura. Who else would like to say anything?
Yeah, can I go ahead?
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think Ashura kind of made a lot of the points. Not all his points were points I would have made. I guess my only real point is just like Sukuna's power. I just assumed it was Sukuna's power is like leaking out more and more. Because you're right that it does literally just say they're getting stronger. But I just assumed it's like Sukuna's power is leaking out more and more. Because you brought up the point about the curses getting stronger, how they can get stronger from negative emotions. but I don't know if that can like transfer to Sukuna himself, because like he's in the fingers, but he is still like a guy.
So I mean, like, but I'm just trying to understand like how that's even possible though. So like if the curse, like when he says the curse is getting stronger, you're saying that it's just more of the energy leaking out from the fingers?
I mean, I guess it's like maybe it like like it holds him in better when it was first made, and then it's like less and less of him is being held in or something. I don't really know. Admittedly, it's kind of hard to explain it. It kind of sounds dumb when I say it like that.
No, I mean it makes sense. It's just tough to say that though, because like in this panel, Gojo's holding a finger that doesn't have a seal on it.
Yeah, I was saying not even that they're leaking out of the seal. It's like it's almost like his power is contained in the finger, right? But then it's actually leaking out of the finger itself.
See what you're saying. I mean, I don't know if that's like shown in the manga. I don't know if that's ever really shown.
Yeah, it isn't shown. It's just a theory. But it's like the reason why I said that was because of what he brought up, which is I didn't really understand how Sukuna could just be gaining like more cursed energy and more power. But I mean, if the curse thing, if that could apply to him, where he's just like more negative energy is being absorbed into the fingers, like that could make sense.
Yeah, I mean, that is like how curses are formed in general. And yeah, I think they do say that the curses get stronger. Oh, hold on. I want to see if I can find that panel of curses getting stronger on Halloween. But I don't know. I mean, that... I don't know. I mean, it's just literally written here. And the thing I just don't understand is just the double standards of it. Like, why we are so quick to just say like, oh no, this is clearly only talking about the seal, but Gojo's holding an unsealed finger when he says this, and he has the 6 eyes, can see cursed energy on a like molecular level. I don't know. It's always just seemed kind of strange to me. And like, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd have to see like an example of the cursed fingers releasing more energy than normal, because it kind of just seems like it's either they're sealed or they're not sealed.
I mean, I guess that's fair enough. I would just say, like you said, you know, Gojo can see it. I mean, that could just be what Gojo's seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I don't know. It's kind of a debatable thing, I guess.
Sometimes it's just weird what Gojo can and can't see. Like, he couldn't see the world cutting slash somehow.
Yeah. That is kind of crazy. But, yeah, I don't know. Do you have any other points on it, though?
I guess not.
Okay, no worries. How about anyone else in the chat? Anyone else have points on it?
On Sukuna's fingers getting stronger.
Yeah. Do you think they got stronger or no?
Like you're saying that like the first finger was weaker than the 10th. Like that?
No. I'm saying that the fingers themselves just get stronger over time.
Oh, yeah, like, okay. I mean, like what is like the proof for that? Like, what do they say?
It's just this panel right here where he says, you can't destroy the fingers. It's that powerful of a curse. With each passing day, they get even stronger.
Hold on. Wait, I don't have the stream open. Let me... Okay, I see it. I mean, this is like chapter 1, too. It's like... you can like retcon this, right? But,
Oh yeah, and one thing that should be noted, it is also stated that the seals have gotten weaker over time. That is part of it, but he's also saying that the curse itself is getting stronger. So like, both can be true. Especially because like in this panel specifically, he's holding an unsealed finger. Like even in the data book, they show that the seals are getting weaker, but they say that in the manga too. They say that the seals are getting weaker. And they don't have anyone who can seal them anymore. But the fingers themselves, when Gojo says that the fingers are getting stronger, he's holding an unsealed finger when he says this. And then the other thing you could say is like, well, did Tengen seal these in the first place? Because Tengen had the other fingers stored. So if Tengen sealed them before but cannot seal them now, that implies that they've gotten stronger.
Yeah, I agree with like the idea of them getting stronger over time. I don't see the issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, my honest stance, I don't think it's 100% for sure, but I do think it's fair to say, just based off of the text in the manga, I think it's fair to say it's possible.
Mm. But I don't think it's like I don't feel like Gege put like the hugest, like, I don't think that he thought of that every single time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was like the hugest rule. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might have just wrote this and didn't really think much about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's possible too, yeah. But all right, does anyone else have any other points on this?
Does it have to be like points against it getting stronger?
No, you can. I mean, you can share whatever you'd want. Like, if you agree with it, you could share that, or if you disagree with it, you could share that.
I think I agree with the statement just because, like, I mean, you have the panel on screen right now. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't really serve the Sukuna, like, agenda, but like, it also doesn't like quantify how much stronger it gets each day. Like, it could be like, I don't know, like an arbitrary number, like 0.01 plus 0.01, like each day, and so like in the grand scheme, it could be like negligible to Sukuna.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I agree, and I think it wouldn't even be that big of an increase, if anything. Like, I think at most, the most possible is that it would make 15 Finger Sukuna relative to the OG Heian era. Because, like, when 15 Finger Sukuna is around all these other people that saw him in his prime, none of them comment on him being weaker at all. No, like, Urahime doesn't, Yorozu doesn't, Uro doesn't, and they're all seeing 15 Finger Sukuna, and they're not saying, oh man, he's a fraud compared to who he was before. They're all just treating him exactly the same. So
Also, I believe it was Asato's point, something about like Sukuna not being a curse, but in my, like, the way I interpret it is like a curse kind of just if you call something a curse, it just refers to like the power system, like Jujutsu sorcery, like a curse technique. That's a curse. Megami's sister, she gets cursed. So like the finger thing is also cursed. Like Gojo's calling it a curse right here, like a powerful curse. So I still think it applies. I don't know if it like absorbs ambient negative energy around it, because I know it attracts, I believe Megami says that it attracts like cursed spirits towards it.
yeah, and it makes other curses stronger, I think, even before they eat it. I'm not sure. I know other curses can eat the fingers and then they get stronger from it, but I think other curses are getting stronger just being around it too. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Oh, it's not from the curses like eating it or ingesting it or whatever.
I think it might be both, but I'm not sure. I need to go back and like reread the parts where curses get stronger, because I just remember the curses getting stronger around the finger, but I don't know if it was all from them being around it or if they had to eat it every time. Also, it's kind of interesting how like Gojo just being born made curses stronger, so I don't know.
That's true.
It's kind of weird how like curses can just increase in strength.
Also, it's true. I forgot who said it, but it's true that like maybe Gege didn't like think that far ahead of like why Sukuna would need to like be more powerful than he already is. But like Gojo, like Shinjuku Gojo, like learns more things and like improves after he's released, and so like you could argue that like even Gojo got stronger. Like, so I don't really see a problem with Sukuna getting like arbitrarily stronger either.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take too, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like that's about everything to say for the finger argument. I don't really see a lot of people really like deeply disagreeing with it. Like at the most part, when I see disagreements, it's like, okay, well, we have to think of theories to make up for to just not use the literal translation. That's kind of how it seems.
Yeah, you kind of have to like question the authority, because I know dude, what's the guy's name? John Weary or something? Like translation errors and stuff.
Yeah, that does happen, yeah. But it's all like the problem with it though is that it's in like every translation of this scene that I've ever seen. Like because it's also in the anime too, where the anime like official subs are saying, "Oh yeah, the curse is getting stronger every day," and stuff like that. So
But yeah, that's pretty much all my points on I was pretty much agreeing with you, but that's like all of the points that I had.
oh, no worries, man. I mean, yeah, you made good points. Wait, was someone saying?
You know what I had?
Oh, go ahead.
One more thing to say that I remembered, because it's not, yeah, it doesn't directly pertain to the finger thing, but it's just that in the in like the Edo period, whenever, you know, the flashback where Kenjaku is talking to Kashimo.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he says there, Kashimo asks him, like, who's the strongest sorcerer you ever seen? And Kenjaku says that it's Sukuna, and it's not even close. So that's really just to say that, like, Sukuna obviously didn't get, like, way stronger. Because, like, if it was, like, Sukuna got, like, 4 times stronger, it's like he'd probably be, like, relative to Yorozu or something.
Yeah. I mean, like, 15 finger Sukuna was still low diffing Yorozu. So I mean, he could still be like around 15 finger Sukuna level and still be way stronger than everybody else.
Yeah, he could. I was just saying, like, you know, like it wouldn't be, like, I guess it could potentially be noticeable, but like not like too significant.
Yeah, but I do think that the gap in between 15 finger and 20 is significant though. I do, because like we get statements for Jogo, he's like, Kenjaku says, if I'm being generous, you're worth about like 7 or 8 fingers. So I mean, if you lowball Jogo, you can say somewhere around 5. And he was getting low diffed. Like, actually, like, no diffed by 15 finger Sukuna. He couldn't even hit him one time. So that's a 10 finger difference. And, like, the gap in between 15 to 20 is, like, only half the gap in between Jogo and Sukuna. Like, that's still a big gap.
I mean, yeah, I think, like, I still think that makes sense, though. Like, if Jogo is only a fourth as powerful as, like, full power Sukuna, to me, that's actually not that crazy. Because, like, he's already, if he's, like, 15 fingers Sukuna, he's, like, 3 times stronger than him. It's like, how would you do something to someone who's 3 times stronger than you, and they're way better than you?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like, there is a genuine chance 15 finger Sukuna is relative to the OG Sukuna, because, like, no one said anything. Like, that, what I'm saying is 20 finger Sukuna is noticeably stronger. He should be. But,
I disagree with that, because we see in the series that people can be wrong all the damn time. Most character statements are proven wrong like next couple chapters. Maki especially, Megumi especially, all the peanut gallery watching Gojo versus Sukuna, nobody knows what they're talking about in this series, bro. I don't trust people saying something or not saying something unless the narrator says it.
I mean, I think Gojo's analysis on things is pretty accurate because he has the 6 eyes.
That's like the strongest.
Well, I think the 6 eyes specifically makes his analysis, like, good.
Mm-hmm.
But,
the reason why I'm pushing back against this is because, like, the mechanics for human beings and the mechanics for cursed spirits are completely different. And just because his curse is getting stronger doesn't mean he's getting stronger, if you get what I mean.
But how is that possible?
He put on himself to keep himself safe. The curse, yeah, think about it. The curse attracts spirits to himself, but he's not awakening. It's not like Sukuna would ever wake up from that someone eats him. he's not getting stronger. The curse that's keeping him sealed, that he put on himself, is getting stronger, in my opinion.
But how, okay,
That
like
would make more sense.
even if we say that though, how can a curse get stronger without growing in cursed energy?
The curse itself is growing in cursed energy, not him.
Yes, but like then he eats the finger, and so shouldn't he just like get stronger from that? Like, shouldn't he?
Maybe.
I mean, yeah,
Alright.
he probably should, because, like, didn't Yuji absorb some of Sukuna's cursed energy, and he actually, like, got more cursed energy?
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah.
I don't think it says that.
Well, no, that was like how he awakened his cursed energy, right?
In the Calling, there's like I remember there's like a panel in the Calling games. I don't like remember chapters or like pages, but I do remember it saying that like he residual curse energy after it like left his body into Megumi's.
I'm trying to find the chapter.
It says he's entrenched in his curse energy so much that if you know what happens when you get hit by your own curse technique, like it gets a weakened version. That's what happens to Yuji because he's treated as a similar person to Sukuna. He gets resistance to Sukuna's curse energy. I don't think he got stronger from it ever.
I'm trying to find the panel where it says that the curses get stronger. Was it on the night of the 100 Demon Parade? Like the curses were stronger there?
Nah, it was on Halloween.
Halloween?
I don't remember the page. Yeah, Mahito specifically says on Halloween we get stronger. Like we can have more curse energy. I don't remember where he says it, but he says it.
Yeah, it just feels like such a funny thing to say, like.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I don't know if this is stated anywhere, but it might be that curses just absorb the cursed energy in the air, and they don't make it. Because, like, humans make cursed energy. Curses just are cursed energy, so they might be, like, eating it from the air.
I'm trying to. I really do want to find that panel, though. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this it?
Let me just see if I can find it.
Yeah, because I don't remember that statement. If anyone in the chat knows, let me know. Yeah, I was Googling it and I didn't find anything on it, but maybe it was like around the Mahito versus Mekamaru fight, maybe something like that. Because I think Shibuya happened on Halloween.
It did.
Maybe around there. Mahito versus Mekamaru. What chapter was that? I don't know. Wait, maybe around 80. Let me look around 80. But yeah, and then another argument that I've been making lately is just saying that Gojo's stronger than Sukuna and Sukuna's more skilled than Gojo. In my opinion, I don't even think that's a debate. I think that's just an accurate analysis of the characters, to be honest.
Wait, repeat it.
To say that Gojo's stronger than Sukuna, but Sukuna's more skilled.
Yeah, I don't think it's too crazy to say.
Because I think, like, it's pretty blatantly obvious when you just say, like, okay, if you get rid of the open barrier domain, Sukuna's kind of getting packed up and washed. Because, like, there's a line in there's a line of dialogue that Gojo says, inside the domains, Sukuna's just using domain amplification, and that gives me a huge advantage. So that's word for word telling you that outside of, like, if they're just fighting and all Sukuna can use is domain amplification, like, Gojo has a huge advantage. That's just word for word telling you that. And outside of Gojo getting his domain broken, that is all Sukuna can do.
I've been actually arguing that as well, bro. When people come to me and tell me that, yo, Sukuna wasn't using domain amplification, I just bring out the statement like, he was only focused on that.
Yeah,
People just yeah.
Someone said that he didn't use that domain application.
Yeah, people are telling me that he's dropping domain amplification to adapt to Maharaga. but Gojo clearly says he's using it 24/7 while he was fighting in the domain. I'm like, where are they getting this headcanon?
Well, people will sometimes just make things up. I'm seeing a comment in the chat. He says Gojo's more hacks. His hacks is protecting him. That's it. So, okay, here's something else to talk about. Can you guys even explain the difference between hacks and a strong ability? Can you even do that? Because I see this argument all the time. And when I ask people, can you, for me, just explain the difference between a hack's ability and a strong ability? They almost never can do it. Because by that same logic, I could just say that Sukuna, like I could say domain expansions in general are hacks. The ability to just automatically hit your opponent, I could say that's hacks. I could say the world cutting slash is hacks. It negates their ability. I could say Sukuna's entire curse technique is hacks. Like slashes that you can't see, slashes that adapt to your durability. I could say all of that is hacks. So, like, at some point we have to just decide, is it really hacks, or maybe Gojo just has stronger abilities? Oh, Dark World, thank you for the donation, bro. I appreciate that a lot, man. Once again, chat, go check out Dark World's channel. He makes really good content, and he started making some Hunter x Hunter video really good, bro. But yeah, sorry, you guys can go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, I also wanted to say, like, I need everyone to, like, start acknowledging that Sukuna did enter with, like, prior information on Gojo.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew the weakness of his domain. He knew the weakness of his domain, and then just had like a specific plan to adapt to it. And like when he adapted to it, he said like, "Yo, the reason I did this, is because Unlimited Void is like a dangerous ability. So I wanted to get rid of that first." So.
He was literally plotting on Gojo from like the first time he saw Megami use his technique.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Like literally basically the whole manga, he was planning to kill Gojo.
Yeah, it was just mega prep time.
Yeah.
Didn't Gege say that was the plan from the start? At the very moment.
Well, yeah. There is an interview. I don't even know if it's a real translation, but like there is an interview that I've read where it was like, I was thinking of a way to kill Gojo, and then I thought of Maharaga. Like he said something along those lines.
So dead ass, bro. We see from the very first chapter, he analyzed what blue does and how it makes him faster. Then he sees the domain. Then he sees hollow purple. Then he sees red. Like, goddamn, he had so much prep time. Prepped the entire manga. Got into a different body with a different curse technique. And people are still telling me he didn't try. And then even Gege is trying to gaslight me, telling me, oh no, he didn't give it his all. What? Then what is that?
Well, you know what I think?
What do you call giving his all then?
You know what I think that is? He didn't like give it his all thing. I think like it's like a technicality of like, oh, he didn't like use Fuga and he didn't use his like true form thing. Even though that wouldn't like flip the table or anything.
I got a question real quick. What was the reason he didn't use Fuga again?
It was because Gojo was changing the barrier conditions, so like he didn't have like enough time to do it because it takes time to charge it up, and like the basketball domain makes it so that Fuga's like not that strong.
All right.
Also, I want to comment on something. He didn't need the basketball domain. He didn't need it.
Gojo?
Gojo didn't need it. The reason why Sukuna shrank, okay, right? The reason why Gojo shrank his domain was because he thought the smaller it is, the stronger he'll be able to defend against the slashes, right? But what Sukuna did was immediately copy it anyway. So he equalized it. He literally didn't really get any stronger because the moment he used it, Sukuna copied it and used it against him. So he didn't need this. People keep telling me he got stronger too, and I'm like, he didn't need to get stronger to fight Sukuna. Sukuna just copied the buff anyway. It didn't matter.
Well, no, it helped him because like the basketball domain was able to last longer against the slashes from the outside. Like at first it was breaking it like almost instantly, but then the basketball domain could last 3 minutes. So that's why he was able to like fight him longer in the domains. I've also the other thing is I've also thought like the same way I've like thought of arguments for Gojo. I've thought of a bunch of arguments for Sukuna that I just don't even share because I'm waiting to hear like if someone defending Sukuna will think of them, but haven't heard people say any of the ones I've like thought of yet. I'm just keeping them to myself.
You can drop them. You can drop them, bro.
Yeah, are we gonna have another Sukuna versus Gojo debate? Like,
Yeah, why not? Bro?
Yeah, when the anime comes out, I will. Like, I mean, I'll do
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'll do these like a bunch more because it's like the most fun debate in JJK to me. But yeah, I've been looking, man. I don't see any statement where it says the curses get stronger on Halloween. I've been looking for it and I don't see it.
Damn, maybe I hallucinated it, but I swear I heard it from somewhere.
No, it's fine. I mean, no one in chat is listing it either. Let me just type it in Google one more time.
Yeah, I typed it in Google too.
Are you referring to when like curses get like stronger over different seasons?
Do they say that?
Yeah,
Sometimes like, 'cause, like the negative emotions, right? People are more moody in like the winter or something, so they end up getting more negative energy or something. I think Barbara mentions it or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wait, hold on. Who says it? Like, I'm looking for a statement on this, but I'm not finding it. So, if anyone knows where that's said or who says it or what chapter, I'll pull it up right now.
Oh, look for it. It's alright.
I swear I thought I was like, I had dementia or some shit. Because I was looking for it, I couldn't find it. Thank you, bro.
But where is it? Where is it?
Specifically Halloween. Be what I'm on about. I'll be back.
Yo, chat. Does anyone in the chat know where that's said? I'm trying to find it, but I'm not seeing it anywhere. So.
Wait, which one?
A statement where they say that the curses get stronger depending on the season or depending on Halloween or something. Like, I'm trying to find that, but I'm googling it. I'm not seeing anything. If anyone knows like what part of the story this happened, I'm not seeing anything about that at all.
Sounds like a Shibuya incident thing. I can try to look for that.
Yeah, that would be good. Anyone in the chat, if anyone knows, I don't see anyone in the chat saying anything about it. But I don't know. Maybe it's just not here. Yeah, I don't know.
The debates in the chat are always fun, fam. Like, it has nothing to do with the stream.
Yeah, that's pretty common. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to find that. I've been looking for it for a while. I haven't found it, but it is what it is. Supreme, what's up, bro? How are you doing?
It's all good. What's up?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Yeah, we started the stream having a debate talking about did the curse fingers actually get stronger over time? What do you think about that?
I guess my own interpretation of it was that I always saw it as a statement meaning like the fingers are getting stronger because the seals are like gradually getting weaker, right? I don't think he's necessarily trying to say, hey, like for some reason the fingers are just getting stronger to some unknown point, right? I just think it's like, hey, these seals are getting undone, and thus because of that, the fingers are becoming more and more powerful, right? That's how I've always seen that statement.
That's a fair interpretation. The problem with it though is that like the finger Gojo's holding with this does not have a seal on it.
Okay. But I guess the question would be like, I would see like, okay, maybe the finger he's holding in that section is strong as it can be. The one that he pushed to the wall, or the ones even that are have the ceiling marks. Those are the ones he's more referring to, right? I guess that's how I see it.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I mean, we started with this, and I always just thought it was interesting because, like, in so many other cases in the manga, we just take the literal translation. But for this one specifically, my honest answer on it, I think people don't take this one literally because they intuitively understand that means Heian Era Sukuna is probably going to lose to Gojo. And I think that's my honest stance on it. I think that's the only reason why people don't take it literally.
I agree. I agree with that. I also kind of see a problem with the whole idea of it growing stronger like infinitely, because it's like usually the way they explain curses and curse spirits is that there's always a source for the curse, right? It's either getting powerful through some emotion, from people or some kind of vessel. But the only thing I've seen that has actually given Sukuna's fingers power is Sukuna himself. So for me, it's always been like saying the fingers. If the fingers grow stronger infinitely, are you trying to say Sukuna has infinite power? Because that's the only logical conclusion.
No,
You know.
I mean, my argument would just be that it's just growing the same way other curses grow. So like it's saying that the curse is getting stronger, and we know that other curses are formed from just negative emotions. Like that's what causes curses to form in the first place. So the same would apply to this curse here. This curse is just getting stronger from the negative emotions around it. It doesn't have to be growing infinitely forever, but to some degree getting slightly more powerful.
I mean, I understand that part. I guess the part I don't, well, I guess maybe I might disagree is just with the idea that it's taking negative energy from its surroundings. Like, I don't think there's anything that's, well, at least that supports that idea. 'Cause everything I've seen about the fingers is like, it really only takes energy from Sukuna. Every time they talk about the fingers, they don't say, oh, it's sucking curse energy or it's sucking curse energy from any curse spirit. Is like, no, this is Kuna's curse energy that is in the finger, right? And that's the only signature that's there. So for me, it's just kind of weird. It's weird, but I'm open to like different views on that. And that's just how I see that, the fingers.
No, yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just like the fact that they're saying the curse is getting stronger, and we see other curses just form from negative energy itself. That's like where the idea comes from. It's like, okay, well, maybe the negative energy around it is doing the same thing to this curse too, making it stronger. I also like, so people were saying that there's a line of dialogue where it says curses get stronger depending on the season or depending on like Halloween. I don't know if that's actually true. I spent time trying to find it. I could not find it. I don't know if that's real anymore.
I just posted it.
What was that?
I just posted it if you want to see in like the chat.
Do you know what chapter number it is?
I just got off it, so I have to check it again if you want me to do that.
Oh, no problem. Well, let me see.
Bear with me then.
It says, oh yeah, it does say this. Okay, good point. He said, hold on, let me read this. So this looks like it was before, I forget the name of this arc. It's like the game they have where Yuji fights Toto and all that when they're training for that. It says people's depression during the winter and spring seasons manifests as curses in huge quantities during the summer. It's the busy season, so to speak. So it's like during, okay, yeah, so
Goodwill.
yeah, Goodwill, there you go. So yeah, during certain seasons there's more curses. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, it was chapter 10.
Chapter 10. Okay, thank you. So let's see. So yeah, I mean, that is kind of an argument for it.
So what's going on right now?
We're basically just talking about like, is there a possibility that the fingers actually got stronger? Yeah, just the same thing we've been speaking about since the start, really. Like, is it possible or not? I think
My
it's.
take on that is that
Oh, go ahead.
Gojo explains around the time when the fingers got stronger. He explains in the same sentence. Oh, the seals are weakening. He's implying that it's less that the fingers got stronger over the years, and more that they returned to their original powers. What I see it as.
That's possible too. I mean, but I just think the big problem with it though is the fact that like in the scene where he's talking about it, he's holding a finger that does not have a seal on it, and then on top of that, if we assume that Tengen is the one who sealed them in the first place and Tengen is still alive, like the fact that Tengen can't seal them anymore implies that the strength grew.
I'm not sure. Like, I didn't even know Tengen sealed them.
No, that's just a theory, because like Tengen stores them. Tengen stores the fingers and stores like cursed objects in JJK. We don't know who created the original seals on it, but it's just a theory that maybe it was Tengen.
Well, it would make sense he used the big finger himself.
Sorry, what was that?
It would make sense he's like
No, yeah,
of
true.
himself.
True, yeah. But I mean, I think the argument for like Tengen being the one who created the seals in the first place just comes from the fact that like a lot of the talismans, so like what's sealing the fingers in the first place is talismans. And if you look at like the other talismans that are used in the series, they just create barriers. They like create curtains and stuff. There's also like Shikigami talismans, but like a lot of the other ones are used for like barriers. And we know that Tengen has the strongest barrier techniques, and we know that Tengen was storing the fingers anyway, so it's like maybe Tengen was the one who like made the seals for it.
Well, he's probably at least like buffing them, because that's what he does with his barriers. He buffs like other barrier techniques, so he's probably like buffing all sealing stuff in Japan.
Yeah, like it's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility, and it's like if that's true and Tengen could seal them before but can't seal them now, then that is like more proof that they got stronger. But
could I just throw something in real quick?
oh yeah.
So I'm looking at it, and I think that, I mean, I generally agree with the fact that he's not getting stronger directly, because I'm looking at the chapter right now, and it says you can't destroy them, and then he talks about how they're getting stronger, but like Sukuna himself is like not indestructible, even though the fingers are. So I think that would lend itself to saying that these are two different. Like, there's the curse that's on the fingers that like causes them to be indestructible, that brings the other curses in, that breaks the bindings, and then Sukuna being a quote-unquote curse is like a different phenomena.
I think that's a good argument, and like my question to that is, if we're just saying that the curse that's making them indestructible is getting stronger, my question is like, how is that actually even possible without the curse growing in cursed energy?
Even if
what I'm saying is that even if they are growing in cursed energy, I mean, there's a different argument to be made of like, does Sukuna get the cursed energy that the finger has, or the cursed energy that he sealed in the finger? And then I think if you want to talk about that, there's a different argument to be made that the fingers themselves, as cursed objects, would be absorbing cursed energy, just like Yuji does, because of the immense cursed energy that Sukuna has sealed inside of them.
Yeah, that is interesting. The second thing you said, could you say that again? You said the fingers themselves are absorbing the cursed energy from Sukuna?
So, Yuji, like, his cursed energy pool is implied to increase during the series because he's, like, housing Sukuna. So the cursed energy is, like, seeping into him, right? And I think the same thing happens with Megami, where, like, he summons the dog at the end of the series, and it's huge. But... So there's a possibility that the cursed energy in the fingers might actually be seeping into the object itself, and that's what's buffing their curse.
That's possible. I also think more with like Yuji and Megami, it's because of like Sukuna taking over their bodies, and like they get like experience using high level sorcery because of Sukuna.
Well, that's definitely true, but I'm saying that this might...
Yeah, dude, that's a fair point. I mean, I just, my honest stance on it, I think that overall, it's just, if we're, like, being fair to both characters, I think it's worth mentioning there is a possibility that the fingers grew stronger, because all you have to do is just say, like, oh, I'm just accepting the literal translation of the text. That's all you have to do for the possibility to be a real possibility. Because we do that for so many other elements of the fight. I don't understand why for this one in particular, like, the whole fandom's against it, really. Because, like, pretty much, like, from what I've seen, maybe I've seen a skewed most part, right? Like, I have a feeling, if I did a poll right now, and I just said, like, did Sukuna's cursed fingers get stronger over time? Like, yes or no? It would be overwhelmingly no. And then I'd get a bunch of top comments saying, OMG, the cope is insane. Stuff like that. And that's just my assumption. That's what I think would happen. Because I see other people say, like, stuff like that. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a wrong prediction, but that's my assumption. And I've never understood why, with this one in particular scene, we call it cope for just taking the literal translation. But for the rest of it, you're expected to take the literal translation.
I think the reason why, if you can go first.
Alright, I thought something about not the fingers themselves getting stronger, but they are often in places that gather cursed energy. For example, like the finger buried under that one bridge. That bridge is like based off a real life location that's like famous for like people like jumping off. You know what I mean? You talk about it in the story, right? The point is that cursed energy is directed towards that bridge because of like there's like the legends behind it, right? And finger bearer was particularly stronger, which Megami says. So I think the environment these fingers are in could affect their power by like having cursed energy directed towards them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I think that's an interesting thing to think, like, are the curses getting like, there's probably other examples of it, of curses getting stronger just being around like other cursed energy or negative emotions. Like I want to look at the other finger bearers, like the curses around the cursed fingers. I want to see if they get stronger without eating the finger.
Oh yes, they did, because remember the curse that Megami saw at first in the first chapter of the manga? He said, oh, it's leave it alone. But then the next chapter, the curse smacked him through a wall and forced Yuji to eat the finger. Just by being near Sukuna's finger, it gets stronger.
Wait, did that happen? When did that happen? That was
it's the first chapter.
Yeah.
Really? It got stronger without eating a finger? One of the curses?
Nah, yeah, it just got stronger by being near it. Before
Really?
it could phase through walls, and that's only like a low-grade curse technique. It like only low-grade curses can phase through solid matter. Just being near to Sukuna's finger unsealed, it smacked Megami through a wall.
Let me see.
Good catch. It starts like going for like bursting through walls instead of phasing through them.
Yeah, if that's actually true, then there's a really good argument for the fingers just actually getting stronger. Let me see.
I disagree. The main reason why I disagree, it's more of a narrative thing. I wouldn't want Gojo getting stronger by much either. I prefer getting more skilled because it's clear in the story that they've already reached their peak. Sukuna being weaker than him at any point just doesn't feel right. It doesn't work for the story, is what I'm saying.
I'm looking at this scene right now. I'm trying to see, is this even the same curse? Like, I see this curse is like slapping him around. I'm trying to find out if this is the same one that he was like beating up earlier.
I don't think Megami interacted with that curse. He just like looked at it on the pole and was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll leave that one alone." Is it dead body?
Yeah, it was a curse of a guy who committed not alive anymore. RP, young dude. Yeah.
I'm trying to. I mean, you might be right. Like, I'm not 100% sure. Because I see him getting thrown around by this curse. But I'm just trying to see if there's any,
The curse? It could be.
Well, yeah, he says the curse plans on eating the cursed finger to... Wait, hold on. It says it plans on eating it to gain stronger cursed energy. So that's what the other, like, curses are trying to do, eating it. But I'm not sure if, like, this curse just being around the finger is getting stronger. I'm not sure. There might just be two curses. There might just be, like, a weak one and then a really strong one.
It's grand other curses, well, it's gone.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Scran, it means, like, eat.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see. This is hard to tell. I mean, it looks like Megami kills a curse at first, and then his dogs eat it, and then another curse shows up that's stronger, and then that one is the one that's beating Megami up.
But the ones the dog beat, it looks like a big fleshy thing, like something out of Akira, instead of like, I don't know how to use it. They're hard to describe curses, you know.
Yeah.
But I think they look proper.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I think it's two separate curses. I think it's two separate curses. It is hard to describe curses. But I saw someone in the chat said, wait, what is he talking about? I think they're having their own debate.
No, wait. From what you can see it.
But because yeah, this curse that's beating him up, this is like a new one. Like, this is the first time that Megami fights this guy and he just loses to him, like the fraud he is.
Like, I generally despise Megumi's character writing, bro.
Yeah, he's just pretty sorry, honestly. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, no, I don't know. I have to look for more evidence of like other curses getting stronger from being around negative emotions. Like, you could make the argument that we were talking about earlier. In the seasons, more curses show up because of the negative energy and stuff. So that's like a possibility, but you could just argue like that just makes more curses that doesn't power up the already existing ones.
I think somebody mentioned this earlier, but I think there's pretty definitive proof of that with the finger bearers. Where the second finger bearer seemed to be like pre-existing around that bridge, and it was Megumi says that it was like noticeably stronger than the first one. I mean, that might just be because it's a more mature curse, but it could also be because of the location.
I believe it's the location.
It could be.
Yeah, definitely the location.
Because finger bearers, like, they start out as like unique curses at the beginning, right? That finger bearer is just like one of those random whack-a-mole curses that like cause all those people to die from that long distance, and that curse is born from like the fear of that bridge. So for the first finger bearer in like the detention center, it could be just some random scrub, and the whack-a-mole curse could be like how much stronger, right? And the combined power of that and the finger, being like a stronger finger bearer.
Yeah, I want to find that chapter where Megumi fights him.
It's chapter number 58.
58. Oh, thanks. Look at that.
I think it's right at the beginning that he's talking about the fingers.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. And what are your guys' thoughts on the argument of like Gojo is a stronger character, but Sukuna is more skilled?
Well, what I think is Gojo. I think he's a technique merchant because I think it's with Miguel. I think that at some point they explain, oh yeah, if it was like Miguel without a technique, he'll beat my ass or something. But he had a technique, right? And used that to combine it with his punches, so he hits way harder, despite having like not even as much curse energy as Yuta,
I'm pretty sure it stated he would have had the advantage at the start, but he would just lose.
Yeah.
Gojo
Yeah,
without
Miguel
curse energy.
Sorry.
Oh, you can finish it.
Miguel wins the sprint, but Gojo wins the marathon, and that's both of them not using their techniques. So that's
that's
Gojo
with
versus Miguel.
Yeah, I think that's just
So
like
Miguel's-
no technique
I'm
usage.
pretty sure Gojo says even if he did use his technique and he didn't use his, Gojo would still win. Am I getting that wrong?
He said that.
Well, no, I mean if
Yeah.
like no, Gojo's going to low diff him, yes, but I think like the whole scene was talking about like the whole point of it was just talking about how like a bigger body could improve your cursed energy reinforcement, and like because Miguel is just more jacked than Gojo, he would like have an advantage at the beginning if they just both fought with just cursed energy reinforcement. I think that was the whole point, but like if Gojo's using blue to just increase his speed, Miguel's just getting blitzed. So
Personally, I don't think he's a technique merchant, because I don't think a technique merchant can just switch up their domain conditions enough to keep up with the open barrier domain on the fly. He's not a technique.
I think in regard to just stats, right? If you take away Gojo's technique, his stats dropped by a lot because even Red is doubling his stats with like from Blue. You know what I mean? That's a big jump. Who's out here like doubling their power with just one move? You know what I mean?
You can say that as much as you want. Gojo with on technique burnout, running full RCT was still going band for Sukuna, like inside his domain. So
yeah, that is one of the craziest feats, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gojo just has like. I think Gojo just has good technique curse energy efficiency. So, like, he can just spam techniques. But when you contrast that with Sukuna is a lot more innovative, right? Like he can stack curse techniques and domain techniques on top of each other, right? And even when his curse energy supply is low, he can still like do stuff that just makes his output like much more higher than it's supposed to be. I think that's impressive in its own right, honestly. But that's the main difference I see.
There's a
I don't really know about that.
Here, real quick. This panel.
On that because who wants to go first?
Just real quick. This panel. It's talking about the cursed fingers resonating. Maybe that's like what they're talking about when he says they're getting stronger. The fingers are like resonating with each other and like growing in power from that.
Yeah, like they're waking up. That's what I think that's happening. But I want to talk about that fight scene. The thing about what were you saying? Like, what were you saying about Gojo again? Supreme, I kind of forgot.
Basically, just Gojo has more curse energy efficiency, so like he can just basically he can spam curse techniques just a lot more than normal people. And I think Sukuna overall is more innovative in the way he uses curse techniques and domain techniques as far as stacking them on top of each other. Gojo is good at that, but I think Sukuna just shown more impressive skill in that part.
I disagree because I don't think Gojo used it because he didn't need to use it, if you get what I mean. Using domain amplification would nerf him. He would never need to use it.
Well, I don't even know if Gojo knows how to use domain amplification. I'm not even sure if he does.
Why would he need to use it though?
I don't think Gojo does, at least not officially.
Yeah, I don't think he ever
It
uses
would
it.
be borderline useless.
He never uses it, and Asura is right. If he did use it, it would only nerf him.
Yeah.
Because like negates blue.
Yeah, just turn.
Look at the limitless.
Yeah.
Infinity and blue and all that.
But
What use of that would be for Gojo though?
yeah, it wouldn't really help him. Yeah.
That's bad.
But okay, real quick. It seems like this finger bearer has gotten stronger. Well, wait, did this thing that Megumi's fighting when he used his domain? This thing had also eaten a finger, right? It was a finger bearer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it got stronger from the fingers resonating with each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, implies like the fingers are getting stronger from resonating.
What does that even mean though? Like resonating?
Let me look up the definition.
It's like when the definition of resonating.
New domain. Like working out harder in the soul talk, see?
Nah, it's when two vibrating touch, when one vibrates, it transfers the vibration from one to the other, and it increases each other until they're both equal.
That's like
what
sharing the
resonating
energy.
is. Yes.
It's
that's
like
what it is.
reverberating sounds.
Yeah.
That's like what the
sometimes
definition is.
resonating makes each other stronger. Like one frequency amps the other frequency.
Oh.
So it's like things like
technically,
echoing
it's
off
just
of each
sharing
other.
power between itself.
It's like things echoing off
Yes,
each other.
you get it.
But so yeah, maybe you can make the argument that like the fingers are just getting stronger from resonating.
To me, either way, that's just Sukuna's own curse energy, though.
Just like, but like if they're increasing in power though, then that's still something. Especially if they're doing it every day.
You could just argue it's like more sound isn't getting created. It's just getting more concentrated. The reason why resonating makes a louder sound is because both the sounds are combining into one, not because the sound themselves are getting stronger, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
But-
that's clear.
But I mean, the problem though is that Gojo says they're getting stronger.
Well, yes,
You're getting
the total energy stays the same, but the sharing the energy with like the same thing, it's like getting more dense, you know what I mean, between the fingers.
yeah. Stronger can have multiple definitions.
I'll also throw in here that I found in chapter 138, Yuji also says that Sukuna is getting, he can tell that his strength is growing, and it like shows a little image of the fingers in the background. So that might also, I mean, that could be interpreted as Yuji, like literally he goes from like 3 or 4 fingers to 15 fingers, or I guess technically 16 fingers in Shibuya.
Yeah.
So it could go either way.
No, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think it's an interesting debate just because it's like all throughout the rest of the Gojo versus Sukuna debate, people are okay with everything else being literal except for this one. Just because, and the real reason it's just because it means that Heian Era Sukuna is just losing to Gojo like immediately. Like he's just gonna get domain diffed, and people don't like that. There's a possibility of that, but that's in my opinion, that's the only reason why this debate even exists. Otherwise, people would just take it literally. Because they have this statement where it says like in their domain clash they were evenly matched, and people are like, oh, so if Sukuna's like any weaker, they just wouldn't be, and people don't like that there's a real possibility that could have happened. I mean, and like I was saying earlier, it's just everyone from the Heian era that sees 15 finger Sukuna, none of them say he's any weaker, and people kind of just ignore that, but it is what it is. So yeah, I think that's kind of everything I wanted to say on this. Is there any last things you guys would want to say on this topic?
Different stuff I like to talk about, like separate stuff, if anyone can help me with that.
You said you wanted to talk about a separate topic?
But I want to see help me like quantify like how strong characters are in Sukuna fingers for like another thing I'm thinking of, right? So if any of you can help me out with that, I like it if you don't mind.
Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 characters, and then I'll like end the stream. So like, what characters did you want to say?
Well, okay, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to quantify how much Sukuna can hold back during Shinjuku by saying, oh yeah, saying Maki, right? Maki's this strong in Sukuna fingers, right? And Sukuna has like this many fingers in power, right? So he can only hold back by this much by like subtracting the two like numbers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think after the Gojo fight, Sukuna was like weaker than 15 finger Sukuna in Shinjuku. I think he was like, if we were actually like finger scaling, I think he'd be closer to like 11 fingers and was still like able to one-shot everybody.
Yeah, because like, wasn't it stated by the time like Maki shows up, especially after the Yuta fight, isn't it stated that like he's like at half power, so like at like around 10?
Yeah, after Gojo he had less than half. Well, it was like after Gojo he had less than half of his total. He had less than half of his total curse energy.
He can have less than half of his total curse energy, but we do specifically know that having a strong soul just makes you strong curse energy, if you get what I mean.
I thought having a strong soul is exactly why you have strong curse energy, because Maito implies like from the soul. He explains how like emotions are.
Mahito says the opposite though. Mahito specifically says Jogo has stronger curse energy, but Sukuna's soul is just built different.
Yeah, so, well, what I mean, right, if his soul is built different, that implies that his soul in total, right, would just be stronger than Jogo. But currently, he's just weaker than Jogo, so there's only 3 fingers, there's only, like, 3 pieces of his soul, you know? So overall, his soul is much stronger, but at 3 fingers, his soul, he's, like, weaker than Jogo.
Yeah.
Yeah, even then, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but we don't know what the benefits of that strong soul applies.
Well, Sukuna also had other nerfs too because he was damaged, and like being damaged lowers your output. So he just had garbage output, and Yuji was also lowering his output with every punch because Yuji has like a special effect against incarnated sorcerers that does that. So
if you wanted like a quantifiable number for a couple of them, I would put out 3 and 5. So we know that Megumi, heavily debated statement, but calls Toji and 3 Finger Sukuna rivals in speed. So in terms of how fast he's moving, he's probably moving around 3 finger level. Maybe you want to say that Megumi's talking out of his ass, but that's neither here nor there. And then 5 fingers, because Sukuna at 15 fingers, one-shots Ryu with a cleave and cuts him into 3 pieces. So, or I guess he makes 2 cuts. So I guess you could say that maybe 7 finger or 8 finger Sukuna can only make 1 cut, and then everyone's like, Yuta and Yuji are like a little bit below that. So he's in like the mid single digits in terms of like his output.
Wait, no, wait a second. It's confirmed he's lower than 15 finger Sukuna. He can't be that low. Bro, he can't be that low. That's not even the single digits? Hell no. He ain't reached there yet.
Who, like Toji?
He can't be Sukuna. Toji literally cannot be 3 finger Sukuna level.
He can be in speed. He can be in speed.
I mean, I believe it.
Why not?
I think it's fine.
My statement makes no sense.
Well, so this is the thing though, is that the speed is like, that's like a whole different thing of like how Sukuna is actually going to beat Toji, because Toji could beat a three finger Sukuna even if they're the same speed.
That's not the speed. It's the speed
Well,
statement literally meant to me at the end of the fight was like, how did you move that fast? Toji was holding that the whole time.
Well, no, like there's other arguments you can make too. Like Toji, I mean, even if they're equal in speed, it's not that big of a deal because like you could just say like Toji would soul split katana him. But there's other things too. Like
I can't have three finger Sukuna be equal to Toji.
I mean,
It's just never gonna happen to me.
Three finger Sukuna can one shot Maharaga. Like, he's not weak.
He clearly can. He clearly can because Jogo's stronger than him. And Maharaga is definitely stronger than Jogo.
Jogo's just the goat, okay? Don't say the Jogo.
I'm sorry. Jogo's trash.
but also like Toji can amp himself further if he just explains his heavenly restriction too, so you can get a little faster than that.
Bro, three fingers doesn't make sense.
But all right, guys, I think.
He doesn't have any trust energy for that to make sense, though.
But it was implied that he could still do
Gojo
it.
says it in hidden inventory. It works the same way.
Yeah, heavenly restriction users can do it too. But all right, I think that's it for this stream. But if you guys want to keep debating in here, you can. I'm gonna head out of this portion, but you guys can keep going if you want.
Thank you.
But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks.
Okay.
See you guys. All right, chat. What did you think about all that? What did you think about all of that? Did I miss any comments in here? It seems like everyone was having their own debate in the chat, so I'm not sure if anyone was like asking me any questions. I was just looking over and I didn't see any. I saw someone was asking me something about like, do I think Gojo's faster than Heian Air Sukuna? I think someone asked that, and I would say probably yes. Do you have a Discord? Yes, I do. It's posted right here. It's hold on. It's underneath this post. This is my most recent post right here. The pinned comment is the Discord. If you just go right there, that's where it is. But yeah, overall, like my stance on it is still about the same. I think like at the very least you can, if you're just being fair to like the argument, you just say, yeah, there's a real possibility that the fingers did get stronger. That the literal translation of what Gojo said is just true. Especially, like I would just say this: if you're going to do power scaling, like just try to be consistent with it. Like if you're going, like, okay, here's what I mean by that. Because when I've had this Gojo versus Sukuna debate with people, I'll see people say things like, Sukuna's clearly stronger than Gojo because Gojo himself said that Sukuna's stronger. I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. You're taking that literally, that's fine. There's counter arguments you can make, but take that literally, that's fine. But then when we talk about where Gojo says the fingers have gotten stronger every day, they say, oh, well, no, that's not true. You can't take that one literally. It's like, you guys have to have some consistency with your scaling, right? I bring that one up mainly because I'm just showing people like a lack of consistency in the scaling. It's like, if you're going to use one statement literally, why not use this one literally? It's just because you're like trying to push some kind, you want your favorite character to win. That's why you're doing that. Okay. My actual stance on it, I think it's worth mentioning that there's a possibility that the fingers got stronger. I'm not saying they did for sure. I'm saying there's a possibility. Yeah. So that's my stance on it. And then the other stance I had made that I to this day I actually haven't seen anyone debunk this one, where I just say Gojo's stronger, Sukuna's more skilled. No one's debunked that. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've debated that with a few different people. No one's even come close to debunking it. I can stay here for a few more minutes if anyone wants to try and debunk that in the chat right now. But no, I've said that to a bunch of people. No one's come close to debunking it at all. No one's come, like when I say that, the common counter arguments I see to that, people will say, oh, well, Gojo has more hacks. He's not stronger. He just has more hacks. And then I'm like, all right, well, define what that even means. What's the difference between someone having a hacks ability or someone having a strong ability? Then they usually just stop replying or stop talking. Okay. You said, but it only says the curse got stronger, not Sukuna. So if you actually take it literally, it's the curse. Okay. So yes. Let's talk about that. I want you to explain to me Please explain this to me. How does the curse get stronger without growing in cursed energy? Explain that. Go ahead and explain that. All right. How does the curse get stronger without growing in cursed energy? Please explain that. I'd love to know. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the stance I have on it. Gojo is the stronger character. Sukuna's more skilled, and I've said that a bunch of times. I made a short on it, and no one's debunked it. No one's even come close to debunking it. I'll be honest with you. People get like kind of upset by it, but no one's even slightly come close to proving that wrong. It's just a fact about the characters, especially if you like power scale other series, and you've done power scaling for a while. It's pretty clear that that's just how the characters are. There's a reason why, like, for example, I've seen videos where people are saying, like, how does JJK stack up against Dragon Ball? And they're literally all getting speed blitzed and one-tapped except for Gojo. Like, and I'm not talking about Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking about OG Dragon Ball. Like, everyone in JJK is getting, like, one-tapped by, like, Master Roshi at their first world tournament. He was a moonbuster. No one in JJK is touching that. They're all getting one-tapped except Gojo. There's a reason for that. It's because he is the stronger character in the story. He's like the strongest as a character. But Sukuna is more skilled. And if you actually, and I mean, bro, I really do try my best to be nice when I do this debate, because I could just be like way more harsh. I could be way more harsh with what I'm saying. But I really do try my best to be kind when I'm saying this. I could be like 10 times harsher than this and get the point across way faster. But I really do try my best to be nice when I do these. You said, in a world where everyone uses hacks, then power strength is hacks. And since this world would account for all hacks and Sukuna has an open barrier domain, Heian era Sukuna is stronger than pre-realm Gojo. Well, I'm not even talking about pre-realm Gojo. Like, I'm talking about Shinjuku Gojo. Why are you talking about pre-realm Gojo? And, okay. And the open barrier domain is a skill feat. It's skill. It's literally just skill. Like, it's from having more skill with your barrier techniques, because that's all domains are. Domains are just a barrier where you imbue an innate technique into it as a sure hit. If you have an open barrier, that means you're more skilled with barrier techniques. That's all it means. That's the whole point of the argument, guys. I'm not sure why that people don't understand that when I say that. Open barrier techniques it's a skill. You get that through skill. Like, I feel like that should just be pretty straightforward when I say it, but people like seem to not understand when I say it. Open barrier techniques are literally just a skill. Like, guys, the best example is Kenjaku. Kenjaku's like more skilled than Gojo. But Gojo's so much stronger than him that it doesn't matter. That's what I'm talking about. But the difference is, for Sukuna, he's actually relative to Gojo, so that's why he can win. But no, Kenjaku's more skilled in domains than Gojo as well. He has an open barrier domain. Gojo does not. But Kenjaku doesn't want to fight Gojo because the strength gap is too big. The basketball domain is also skill reverse. Who? Okay, sorry. What does that have to do with anything? Please explain to me what that has to do with anything. Please just explain to me real quick, what does that have to do with anything? I'm really trying to be nice here, guys, but why would you say that to me right now? What does that have to do with what I'm saying? Okay, what does that have to do with what I'm saying at all? I'm not even sure why you'd mention that. I'm really trying to be polite here, but like, I don't get why that was even written. Because, guys, like, the whole point is, like, the reason why Sukuna can win is because he's more skilled. It's the open... let me simplify this. The open barrier domain literally carries Sukuna. It's, like, pretty much straight up stated... hold on, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up real quick. It's literally stated in the fight, guys. The open barrier... I don't know, man. I love doing the Gojo versus Sukuna debate, but I can tell a lot of times people don't really read this fight that much, bro. Like, they just, like, say stuff sometimes. People just say stuff. Hold on, let me pull this up. Give me a second. Like, people legitimately will just... Okay, here's something I've noticed, chat. People will read this fight, like, once or twice and act like they're an expert. You guys realize I've read this, like, 100 times, right? I don't know. I'm trying to be nice here, but, like, people will just say things, man, and I'm just... I don't understand why you're even saying them. There's literally a panel where Gojo says, if all Sukuna's using is domain amplification, I have a huge advantage. Let me find it. Hold up. Might have been... Was it at the start of this chapter? No, it was probably the one right before this. Yeah, it was. It was 228. Give me 1 second. And people saying, can I join the Discord? Yeah, bro, that's... It's posted. I showed you guys where the post is. Okay, read this. Read this. Gojo says, while our can't miss attacks offset each other inside the domain, Sukuna has no means of attack other than amplification for defeating my limitless. That gives me a big advantage. You guys read that, right? Please just read this. Read this. This is the whole point, bro. He says, if Sukuna has no means of attack other than amplification, domain amplification, that gives Gojo a big advantage. Now just logically think about this, please. That's literally their whole fight. That is literally the whole fight, bro. You guys realize that, right? Like, this is why I say Gojo's stronger, Sukuna's more skilled. Because if Gojo also had an open barrier, let's say that their skill in domain barriers was equal, then Gojo wouldn't have to worry about getting his domain broken. It would just, they would just clash, and he would just have a big advantage every fight, the whole fight. You guys realize that's not even a debatable thing? That's just exactly right? Do you realize what I'm saying? This isn't even a debatable thing. He's straight up saying, if all Sukuna's using is domain amplification, I have a big advantage. And he's right. That's the whole fight. The Gojo glazing is insane. Bro, I'm reading the text. I mean, like, what? Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. Sometimes you guys just say stuff. I'm really not trying to be rude. But it's like, there's people who are talking to me right now, and I can... Well, hold on. Let me word it right. There's a lot of people where you read this fight once or twice, did not think about it very deeply. You just kind of skimmed it. And then you watched a couple videos on YouTube. Whatever the YouTuber you liked said, you just believed that that's the fact. And you did not do any analysis of your own after that. And then when you debate someone like myself, who's actually analyzed it many, many times, you can't tell the difference. That it's wild, bro. Like, it's crazy. Because you guys will just say stuff blatantly wrong with confidence sometimes, bro. And it does get kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you guys just say blatantly wrong stuff with confidence. It's wild. But yeah, I mean, okay, so you said, I've read the fight a bunch too. Sukuna stops using amplification by the third clash so Maharaga can adapt. It took Gojo 3 minutes to beat someone that can't hit him back. Okay. Doesn't change anything I said, bro. Like, just think about it logically. Like, please, like, just logically think about it. If Sukuna doesn't have an open barrier domain, you realize he just dies, right? Like, if the skill with the domain barriers is the same, Sukuna just loses. You realize that, right? Like, what are you guys talking about, bro? Like, what are we actually yapping about? Wait a minute. You said Sukuna stopped using amplification in the third domain clash. I don't even think that's true, bro. Hold on. Because Sukuna has a line of dialogue where he says he was very careful with the process of adaptation. Like, why would he have to be careful with it if he wasn't using domain amplification at all? He just uses it. But it's like, I want you guys to just think about it logically. Like, if all Sukuna has is domain amplification, he's getting fried. You realize that, right? All he has is domain amplification. He's getting fried. We see that in the fight, bro. Like, I don't really know. I don't know how you can deny that, how you can read this fight and deny that when we see it on panel. Every time he's using domain amplification, he's just getting fried. Like, what's your opinion on Heian form Sukuna versus Gojo? Do you think he would win faster? Which Heian form? Like, if Sukuna started this fight in true form Heian, yeah, he's more likely to win in the domain cluster because he's like physically stronger. Here, hold on a second. But does anyone have any counters to the idea that like Gojo's stronger, Sukuna's more skilled? I don't think there is any counter to it, to be honest. It's just kind of like people just. I've seen zero good arguments against it. If I'm just being blatantly honest, I haven't seen any good arguments against it. Let me know in the chat if you have any, but I have never seen one. Let's see here. Okay. He says, while not using amplification inside of the domain, I use 10 shadows to shoulder the adaptation. So he's using both, bro. Like someone in the chat said he stopped using it after the third clash. He literally says like there was times when he wasn't using it, times where he was using it. There was times where he wasn't using it and times where he was using it. Sukuna says that right here. Also, there's a huge portion of the domain battle we don't even see. Like, there's one full domain battle we don't see at all, bro. Like, people straight up just say stuff, guys. Like, that's what... I don't understand why y'all do this, bro. You don't have to... You don't gotta do that. Like, huge portions of the domain battle we don't see. Huge portions of it. And Gojo himself said all he was using was domain amplification. While not using it. Bro, okay, you do realize... Okay, hold on. I mean, I've noticed... I don't know. I'm still not seeing anyone even try to, like, debate the point. Anyone have any counter arguments to that? Because I'm seeing this one guy, he's trying to change the subject because he doesn't have any counters to what I'm saying. Does anyone have any counters to what I'm saying? The concept that Gojo's stronger and Sukuna's more skilled. I can see this other guy, he's like, he doesn't really have any counters to it, so he's trying to change the subject. Does anyone have a counter to that? Because like when you do debates long enough, you can tell when someone doesn't actually have a counter to what you're saying and they're just trying to like change the subject a little bit. I can tell. So does anyone have a counter to that? And like another thing to realize, guys, is like huge portions of these domain battles we're not even seeing. We're not even seeing, bro. Like, I think this is Domain Clash 4. I think this right here is Domain Clash 4. And this is supposed to be 3 minutes, right? In fight. And we only see... 1, 2, 3... We see, like, 4 pages of it. We see 4 pages of it. So to just say, like, oh, Sukuna never used... This is Domain Clash 4. Yeah, Marlon... Okay, Marlon was saying, like, Sukuna never uses domain amplification this whole clash. How would you even know that, bro? We see 4 pages of a 3-minute fight, and he's just assuming everything else that happened. That's wild. He said, okay, man, can Gojo cut space like Sukuna? What does that have to do with anything, bro? I don't think, like, what does that have to do with anything? I don't understand it, bro. Why even ask that question? Like, what is the purpose of asking that question? Like, basically, I mean, I don't know how much more I can, like, simplify it. Because at this point, I'm not even sure if you're understanding what I'm saying when I'm saying this, brother. Gojo's just a more powerful character. You said you want to say Gojo is stronger, but Sukuna literally has a stronger technique. How is it stronger when it's slower than Gojo is? It's slower than Gojo is, and Gojo word for word says he has the stronger curse technique. It's slower than Gojo. Like, Makin Gojo was blitzing Toji. How is it strong? How? You said it's stronger than anything in his arsenal hack swipe? How? It's slow. It's a slow attack, bro. Maki can dodge it. No, okay, like, and the other example I've given before is just like Gojo goes way further in cross-verse than Sukuna does. That's for a reason. It's because Gojo's the stronger character. Like I said, plop Gojo and Sukuna. You plop them both in OG Dragon Ball. Kid Krillin's probably packing Sukuna up, bro. Sukuna's getting okay, like the Goku that fought Master Roshi in the first like martial arts tournament when Master Roshi just blows up a moon. That kid Goku is like blitzing and low diffing Sukuna. Blitzing and low diffing him. Sukuna, and dude, World Cutting Slash is actual cheeks, bro. He has to say all these chants and do hand signs like a jutsu before he can even fire it. So many characters are just going to blitz and cook Sukuna. Like Yuji and Yuta working together were stopping him from doing it, bro. It's kind of cheeks. He's getting blitzed by so many characters. But it's like you put Gojo in the same scenario. You say Gojo's not stronger. His curse technique is stronger. Curse technique isn't the only thing that matters. He's a stronger character. Just period. He's a stronger character. There's a reason why he does better in cross-verse debates. And then people want to say, oh, it's because he has more hacks. It's like, bro, you can't, like, people say that, but they don't explain the difference between stronger hacks and stronger abilities. Maybe it's just stronger abilities. Gojo says his technique is stronger when Sukuna didn't have World Cutting Slash. Also, Maki can see. But, bro, it doesn't matter because World Cutting Slash, you have to do chants and hand signs. It's garbage, bro. Like, you put him against, like, most other characters and most other series, he's going to stand there trying to do his chants and hand signs and get blitzed. Especially now that we have this Dabura stuff, where they're talking about, like, the speed of light is beyond anything anyone's ever done before. Like, he's getting blitzed by so many people that Gojo's just going to tank with Infinity in one tap. There is a blatant, obvious reason why Gojo does so much better in cross-verse. It's because he's the stronger character. And no one has a counter to that. They just start saying, like, oh, he has more hacks. It's like, bro, Sukuna, no, they're stronger abilities, guys. JJK, pretty much everything is hacks. Is Heian form Sukuna also weaker but more skilled? Yeah, Heian form Sukuna's getting bodied by Kid Krillin. You think Dabura beat Sukuna? That's debatable. If you take all the statements literally, he should. Because, like, there's a statement where they say, like, Dabura is, like, on par with Sukuna. And if he's on par with Sukuna without even having a domain expansion, then he should just be considerably stronger than Sukuna. It's like his normal curse technique, no reverse curse technique at all, just his normal abilities should put him on par with everything Sukuna can do with, like, a domain and all this skill and stuff. And now Dabura is getting even stronger mid-fight. By the end of this fight, Dabura should just clear Sukuna. But, like, if Dabura and Sukuna were to fight, Sukuna should be able to hit him with a domain hit him with a domain and win. Like, the problem with Gojo in a lot of cross-verse battles is, like, unless they have precognition, they're just going to get hit by Unlimited Void. A lot of them. Unless they have precognition, like, they're going to see him just standing there, and the moment he does his Unlimited Void, they just get cooked. Especially since he can do it in, like, 0.1 seconds. You said, can you say it again? You lagged out. Yeah. What was I saying? I was saying, okay, Deborah versus Sukuna. If you take all the statements literally and you assume that Deborah is equal to Sukuna or like on par with Sukuna before he even fights Maharaga, and he's like that with no domain expansion, then Deborah is stronger than Sukuna. Or he should be, at least outside of domains. Because it's like everything Deborah is capable of without a domain expansion should be on par with what Sukuna is capable of with a domain expansion. And now he's getting stronger mid-fight as well. By the end of the fight, he should just be, like, objectively above Sukuna. But, like, if he were to fight Sukuna, Sukuna could probably kill him with a domain expansion. And he might just blitz him, yeah. Also, it's making it look like Kashimo, like, when the EM waves for Kashimo came out in the story, electromagnetic waves are the speed of light, but it genuinely seemed like Gege thought they were the speed of lightning, especially with the fact that, like, he's saying all this stuff about no one has ever gone the speed of light before. Seems like Gege's trying to, like, just, in a way, say, oh yeah, I thought Kashimo was lightning speed, my bad. Do you think the Maharaga that Deborah fought is the strongest version? Oh yeah. He's got to be the strongest. Yeah. He said Sukuna did the chants and hand signs while Kashimo shot an EM wave at him. I think Sukuna can chant fast. I mean, it's still slow to like Kid Krillin. Kid Krillin's blitzing him, one-shotting him. Honestly, I really think, like, Kid Krillin, he was, like, somewhat relative to Goku, and, like, I think at, like, the beginning of Dragon Ball, Goku was, like, dodging light speed attacks, and then he gets way stronger. Like, the moment they start getting relative to Master Roshi, they're blitzing and one-tapping Sukuna. But, like, Gojo's just unlimited voiding, like, maybe all of them. But I think Master Roshi could beat Gojo by, like, sealing him with the lightning surprise attack. Or, no, what's it called? The, sorry, that's not what it was called. It was called, what was that thing? The sealing technique? I forget what it's called. They did it to Zamasu, too. Oh, the evil containment wave. Yeah. Master Roshi could beat Gojo with that. You said, no, I'm talking about, is Heian form Sukuna also weaker but more skilled? Yes. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, here's some other things to talk about. I mean, we see Gojo with a curse technique burnout while using RCT at max to, like, keep himself alive. While is able to box a domain amped Maguna. That is insane. That's insane. That's like, I mean, you could make an argument for that being Gojo at like maybe not even 50%, and he's matching a like above 100% Sukuna in hand-to-hand. Like, you can make an argument that Gojo at like 50% is like on par with 120% Sukuna. Like, you can make some crazy statements like that in terms of like hand-to-hand skill. So, like, then when he goes into his Heian era form, you have to make an argument that him being, like, physically stronger and having 2 arms is enough to make up for that big of a gap. And it's kind of hard to make that argument, honestly. But you still have Heian era form winning against Gojo? Yeah. Yeah. Like, if Sukuna, like, fought in Heian era form instead of Meguna form, like, yeah, he has win conditions for sure. But I did a whole stream on this where I said, like, if you took Endo Shinjuku Gojo and you had him fight Heian era, like, Heian era is getting bodied. I don't know. Like, they're both really close in power, so there's win conditions for both, really. But, Hayonara Sukuna should do better in the domain clash, but I don't know. There is just a lot of ways Hayonara Sukuna can lose. There's really ways either one could win or lose. It's very close. But alright guys, I think that's it for this stream. That's it for this one. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate the views and the comments. I gotta get going to sleep. Got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. But thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.